All right, ready to dive deep into prepping for a gambling quality assurance engineer interview.
Let's do it.
We've got some awesome resources from RoleCatcher to guide us, their career guide, interview guide, even some cool AI features.
Should be really useful. This role is more critical than people might think. You're not just testing games, it's ensuring fairness, functionality, and security for a whole industry.
You're right. It's like being the guardian of fair play in casinos, lotteries, and online betting.
Exactly. High stakes for sure, and the interviews reflect that. They need to be confident you've got the skills and knowledge for the responsibility.
So let's jump into some common questions. First up, the classic, what inspired you to pursue this career? Simple, but a real chance to show your passion.
It is. Don't just say you like video games. Connect it to the heart of the role. Maybe you've always been fascinated by probability or ensuring a level playing field.
Or even a personal story that highlights the importance of responsible gaming.
Exactly. Show them you care about the game's integrity and the player's experience. This is where RoleCatcher's AI can be helpful too.
Oh, how so?
Their platform analyzes your response and gives feedback on how to tailor it for specific jobs, like a personal editor.
Super useful. Okay, nailed the first impression. What's next?
Be ready to dive into your experience. They'll probably ask something like, explain your experience with testing gambling software and games.
Time to showcase those technical skills. What should we highlight?
Specificity is key. Don't just say you've done testing. Mention the types. Black box, white box, regression testing, whatever applies.
And mention the actual games or platforms worked on.
Yep. If you've used industry standard tools, name drop those too.
So if I've used Selenium for automation or JMeter for performance testing, that's where it goes.
Exactly. And don't be afraid of details. Did you face challenges? How did you overcome them? What were your big wins?
Makes sense. Not just lifting skills, but proving you can use them in real situations. And speaking of real world, what about the legal side of things?
Crucial in this industry. You might get asked, how do you ensure that gambling products comply with industry regulations and standards?
Right. You got to prove you're not just a tech whiz, but you understand the rules of the game. Literally.
Exactly. Mention specific regulatory bodies, like the UK Gambling Commission, Malta Gaming Authority, that kind of thing. Talk about your compliance processes.
And maybe even a story about a time you found a potential compliance issue and how you handled it.
Perfect example. They want someone proactive, detail-oriented, upholding the rules, not just following them.
Champion for responsible gaming. Speaking of which, user experience has got to be important too, right?
Absolutely. A game can be perfect technically, but awful for the player. Be ready for something like, how do you ensure that gambling products are user-friendly and provide a high-quality user experience?
So it's not just bug hunting, it's understanding how real people interact with the games.
Exactly. User interface design, feedback mechanisms, responsible gaming features, all of that. Have you done user testing, analyzed player feedback? Share it.
And RoleCatcher's AI can help here too, with all those interview questions they have.
Right. They have a huge database, including user experience ones, and the AI gives feedback on your answers, like a mock interview with an expert. It's a great way to practice. Another key thing they'll be looking at is how well you work with others.
Teamwork. What kind of questions should we expect?
Probably something like, how do you collaborate with developers and product owners to ensure gambling products meet quality standards?
So showing you can play nice even when things get tough.
Exactly. Highlight communication skills, your teamwork ability, and your experience with collaborative tools or methodologies.
Agile, Scrum, those are good to mention if you've used them. And maybe a story about a successful team project, just like with compliance.
Perfect. Showing you're a contributor, not just a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Now, get ready. This next question really showcases your problem solving.
Ooh, I like a challenge. Hit me.
Can you describe a time when you identified a significant defect in a gambling product and how you resolved it?
Good one. It's not just finding the problem, but how you tackled it.
Exactly. This is where the STAR method shines. Set the scene, describe the task, outline the actions you took, and highlight the result.
So, a story that shows your analytical thinking, attention to detail, and how you work under pressure.
You got it. Storytelling goes a long way in interviews.
We've covered a lot already, but there's more to come, right?
Oh yeah, we've only just started. Let's save the rest for part 2 of our deep dive.
Welcome back to our deep dive into becoming a gambling quality assurance engineer. We covered a lot in part 1, all those tough interview questions.
We did, but there's always more to learn. This industry throws some curveballs, so you need a variety of skills.
True. What else should we be ready for?
Let's talk automation. In today's fast-paced world, It's essential for ensuring quality and efficiency. Get ready for something like, explain your experience with automation testing in the gambling industry.
So manually clicking buttons for hours isn't going to impress them.
Well, manual testing still has its place, but automation is key for repetitive tasks, regression testing, large-scale performance checks. Be ready to talk about specific tools and frameworks you've used.
Like Selenium, Appium, Cucumber, that sort of thing.
Exactly, but don't just name drop. Show them you can use them. Talk about writing test scripts, designing automation frameworks, interpreting the results.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you hit any roadblocks with automation, that's a chance to show your problem-solving skills.
Right. Maybe you had to automate a complex game feature or a tricky integration issue. Those are great stories to tell.
Got it. Automation is king. What else is super important in this industry?
Security. It's huge in online gambling.
Hmm.
Sensitive user data, financial transactions. You need to protect all of it. Be ready for how do you ensure that gambling products are secure and protect user data?
It's not just about fun and fairness. It's about keeping players' info and money safe.
Absolutely. Show off your knowledge of security principles, encryption, industry protocols.
Any examples that would really impress them?
Knowing about OWASP POP10 vulnerabilities or experience with penetration testing, vulnerability assessments, show them you're serious about security.
It's about thinking like a hacker to find the weaknesses before someone else does.
Exactly. And don't forget, compliance standards and regulations for data security, like GDPR, they want to see you understand the legal side, too.
So we've got functionality, fairness, and security covered. What else should we be mindful of?
Accessibility. We need to ensure everyone can enjoy these games regardless of ability.
Right. Making sure gambling products are accessible to users with disabilities is important.
Exactly. Be prepared for how do you ensure that gambling products are accessible to users with disabilities?
What kind of knowledge should we focus on here?
Talk about your familiarity with accessibility guidelines like WCAG. Mention the tools and techniques you use for testing, like screen readers or keyboard navigation testing.
And if you've ever advocated for inclusive design, those are great stories to share.
Definitely. It's about going beyond the bare minimum, actively championing inclusivity in gaming. Now let's switch gears. Something that's increasingly important is continuous integration and delivery, or CI/CD.
I hear that term a lot, but not sure I fully get it. Can you break it down?
Sure. CI/CD is all about automating the process of building, testing, and deploying software. It's streamlining everything for faster releases, more frequent updates.
So instead of big releases every few months, it's a constant flow of small changes.
Exactly. That's vital in online gambling. Players expect constant updates and new features. Be ready for a question like, discuss your experience with continuous integration and delivery in the gambling industry.
What should we highlight in our answer?
Talk about CI/CD tools you've used, like Jenkins, GitLab CI, Circle CI. Show you understand the CI/CD pipeline, configuring builds, automated testing, and deployment processes.
So it's not just testing the game, it's understanding the whole process of how it reaches the players.
Precisely. That's valuable in any development environment. We've talked about so many technical aspects. Strong technical foundation is clearly important. But what about soft skills?
Right. Those are important too, right?
Absolutely. They're just as important as technical chops. You need communication skills, problem solving, analytical thinking. You'll work with developers, product owners, all sorts of people.
Being a team player, explaining your findings clearly, adapting to changes.
Exactly. Remember, you're creating an experience for people, even if it's through technology.
Fair.
Understanding human behavior, user psychology, responsible gaming principles, those are all important too.
Finding that balance between technical and human is key.
Absolutely. Before we move on, I want to mention something RoleCatcher highlights in their career guide, Continuous Learning, Professional Development.
Makes sense. Technology never stands still, especially in gambling. How can aspiring QA engineers keep up?
RoleCatcher recommends certifications like Certified Software Tester, CSTE, Certified Quality Engineer, CQE, even a Certified Gaming Industry Professional, CGIP, designation.
Showing you're dedicated to professional growth, that can make you stand out.
Right. They also suggest attending industry events, joining online communities, connecting with experts on LinkedIn, that sort of thing.
Networking is crucial everywhere, but especially in tech.
Absolutely. Building relationships helps you stay up to date, learn from others, even find new opportunities.
So it's not just what you know, it's who you know and who knows you. We've covered a lot already. Anything else before we wrap up?
Let's do one more question. Really focuses on your problem solving in a specific situation.
All right, hit me with it.
Imagine they ask, Can you describe a time when you faced a challenging technical issue while testing a gambling product and how you resolved it?
Ooh, that's a good one. Showcasing how you think on your feet when things get tough.
Exactly. STAR method again. Set the scene, describe the task, outline the actions, and highlight the result.
A story that shows your technical expertise, problem-solving skills, and how you handle pressure.
Precisely. And don't be afraid to let your personality shine through in your storytelling. Interviewers want to see the person behind the skills.
All right, I think we've covered a ton today. Technical skills, soft skills, interview questions, career advice. We really explored this whole world. But there's one more piece, how RoleCatcher's AI can give you an edge.
Right. We've mentioned it throughout, but in the final part of our deep dive, we'll take a closer look at how RoleCatcher's AI tools can help tailor your resume, practice those responses, and land that dream job in gambling tech.
Back again for our final deep dive into becoming a gambling quality assurance engineer. We've talked about the skills, the interview questions, all the essentials.
Now it's time for the secret weapon, RoleCatcher's AI. We've mentioned how it can help with your resume and interview answers. Let's dig in.
Okay, I'm all ears. AI for careers, how does that even work?
Let's start with their AI resume builder. Imagine you find a perfect gambling quality assurance engineer job posting, a company you love, but it's a bit intimidating.
Been there.
So you go to RoleCatcher, upload your resume, and their AI goes to work.
It analyzes it, compares it to the job description, like some kind of matching game.
Exactly. But it's smarter than that. It looks at the meaning, the context, both in your resume and the job description.
Oh, so it's not just about keywords.
Nope. It finds skills or experiences that the employer values but might be missing from your resume.
That's pretty cool.
And here's the best part. It doesn't just point out what's missing, it suggests specific changes to tailor your resume to that job.
Wow, like a personal resume writer.
Exactly. It's like your resume becomes a chameleon, adapting to each job you apply for.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
And it's not just resumes, right? What about that huge database of interview questions?
RoleCatcher's AI can help you practice and refine your answers there, too.
So I can type in my answer, say for that question about a significant defect, and the AI gives me feedback.
Yep. It looks for clarity, conciseness, relevance to the job. It even suggests improvements, highlighting points you missed or areas to be more specific.
Like having an interview coach right there with you. But can AI really understand how we communicate?
Good question. It's not a perfect replacement for human feedback, but it's incredibly helpful for an objective assessment. It's like a second set of eyes to polish your answers and boost your confidence.
So it's not replacing human judgment, it's making it even better.
Exactly. And here's a bonus. RoleCatcher has a free version. Try it out, see the benefits, no risk.
Always a fan of free stuff, especially when it helps my career.
Of course. And if you like it, they have a premium version with even more features.
Like what?
AI cover letter tailoring, personalized interview practice with detailed feedback, even salary negotiation tips.
Wow, sounds pretty comprehensive.
It is. They want to give you the best chance of landing your dream job.
Well, I think we've covered everything you need to become a gambling quality assurance engineer.
We've explored the role, tackled the interview questions, even unlocked the power of AI with RoleCatcher.
An amazing journey, and I'm confident anyone listening now has what it takes to make a real impact in gambling technology.
It's a unique field, needing technical expertise, problem solving, attention to detail, and that commitment to ethical gaming.
But with preparation and passion, you can really shine in this industry.
Absolutely. So go out there, be a champion for fair play, and remember, RoleCatcher has your back.
Thanks for diving deep with us. Until next time, good luck.